Welcome to this explainer. Look, let's jump right in and completely demystify the best investing apps for beginners in the US so you can actually start confidently growing your money. If you're here, you already know that 2026 has given us more financial tech than ever before. I mean, we're living in a world where mobile-first finance has absolutely exploded. Almost everyone has a supercomputer right in their pocket, which means getting into the stock market has literally never been easier. But, well, with all that unprecedented access comes a pretty massive challenge. We want to get you set up to win. And to do that, we really need to talk about the very first hurdle every single new investor faces.
Here is a super harsh reality that nobody really likes to talk about. If you choose the wrong app as a beginner, you can actually lose money before you even buy your first stock. And no, I am not just talking about standard trading fees. I'm talking about the very real cost of making genuine mistakes on a platform that simply wasn't designed for your skill level. Just imagine accidentally executing some complex options trade or buying on margin with borrowed money simply because the buttons were too confusing. It's a trap so many ambitious people fall into right out of the gate.
It's totally overwhelming, right? Honestly, it's no wonder people make those costly mistakes. Most beginners get completely paralyzed by the marketing because every single app out there claims to be the definitive best. You see these targeted ads promising you the world, flashing bright green numbers, telling you this is the absolute best place to build wealth. But here's the fundamental truth you've got to internalize right now. There is no such thing as the objective best. They're just not all built for you. Some are for aggressive day traders, some for massive institutional investors, and some are for absolute beginners. Finding the right fit is infinitely better than searching for the so-called best.
So, over the next few minutes, we are going to cut straight through all that marketing noise. We're putting the top US contenders for 2026 head-to-head, Robinhood, Webull, and Fidelity. We're going to compare them to figure out their specific strengths, their weaknesses, and basically our singular goal today is to figure out which one of these actually deserves a spot on your home screen so you can put your hard-earned money to work.
To completely eliminate that analysis paralysis, we are going to use a really simple 4-step framework. Start simple, avoid data overload, think long-term, and match the app to your goal.
All right, let's kick things off with step 1. Start simple.
This is all about realizing that when you first begin your investing journey, you absolutely do not need advanced tools. You don't need a desk with 3 monitors glowing with flashing red and green lights. You just need something straightforward that gets you off the sidelines and into the game. And that brings us to Robinhood. With incredibly clean phone interfaces and delightfully simple navigation, apps like Robinhood are purposely designed to make starting as frictionless as humanly possible. They ruthlessly strip away all that complex Wall Street jargon and leave you with this sleek, easy-to-use experience. Honestly, buying a share of a stock feels as simple and intuitive as ordering a coffee on your phone.
The onboarding process is just crazy fast. You simply sign up, verify your identity so everything is safe and secure, and boom, you are immediately ready to invest. Think about how empowering that is if you're a bit hesitant. There's no massive, intimidating learning curve. You don't need a finance degree just to figure out how to deposit your funds. The whole thing is built entirely around tearing down barriers and getting you started today.
Moving right along to step 2, avoid data overload.
This is where so many people go completely wrong when they start out. They pick platforms that are way too complicated for their current knowledge level. They fall into this trap of thinking they need the most advanced pro software on the market to be taken seriously, and it completely backfires. Now, on the flip side of simplicity, we have Webull. Webull offers incredibly powerful learning tools and complex charts that are absolutely phenomenal if you're a data-driven user. If you genuinely love digging into the technicals, analyzing every tiny price movement, and just geeking out over market trends, this app is an absolute powerhouse.
But there's a massive difference between a clean interface and a complex professional chart, because powerful data can completely overwhelm a beginner. When you open an app for the very first time and just get hit in the face with candlestick charts, moving averages, and order flow data that you don't understand, it looks less like an investing app and more like you're trying to land a commercial airplane. It makes you freeze up, and confusion inevitably leads to inaction. Inaction means your money is just sitting there, losing its value to inflation instead of actually growing.
Which brings us to a golden rule for today. If you are just starting out, simplicity always beats complexity. You can always graduate to more complex tools and advanced data platforms like Webull later on as you expand your knowledge, but you absolutely need a solid foundation first. Don't let advanced pro-level data scare you away from making your very first investment.
Okay, step 3, think long-term.
If you are planning to buy and hold your investments for years, which by the way is exactly what many of the smartest investors in the world do, trust matters above literally everything else. You want an institution that has weathered historical market storms, recessions, and proven itself over decades, not just a few months. Platforms like Fidelity Investments fit this bill perfectly. They bring a highly professional dashboard and carry a stellar reputation known specifically for long-term investing. It doesn't just feel like a trendy tech startup, it feels like a comprehensive, deeply rooted financial hub designed to secure your wealth for the next 30 years.
The key takeaways for Fidelity are incredible reliability and absolute stability. It's built for individuals focused on serious, steady growth over the years. And there's actually a massive psychological benefit to a platform like this. If your goal is to build a solid, long-term portfolio without that nagging temptation to constantly trade in and out of meme stocks, Fidelity's slightly more traditional, reliable infrastructure is incredibly appealing. It naturally encourages patience.
And that brings us to step 4, match app to your goal.
So with these three very different options, how do you actually decide? Well, it's about ignoring what your friends are doing, tuning out random Reddit advice, and just asking yourself, what do I actually need right now? Let's break down the personas. If you are an absolute beginner who is terrified of making a mistake and wants zero friction, Robinhood is for you. If you actively want advanced learning tools, complex charts, and you plan to actively trade, you should be on Webull. And if your primary focus is safe, reliable, long-term holding with a trusted institution, Fidelity is your best bet. You just have to match the tool exactly to the job you want it to do.
Before we wrap up, I've got a bonus step for you. Start, don't wait.
We really need to tackle the absolute biggest psychological hurdle out there for complete beginners. It's that deeply ingrained belief that you simply don't have enough money to become an investor. I know we spent this whole time talking about app features, but let's pivot to raw motivation for just a second. The biggest mistake isn't choosing the wrong app out of the three we just looked at. No, the fatal mistake is not starting at all. Hesitation is literally the only guaranteed way to fail in investing. You just cannot grow money that you leave sitting on the sidelines.
And here is the absolute best news. You do not need to be rich to begin. Even just $100 is enough to break the seal. Taking that first $100 and putting it to work today gets you over that massive psychological barrier. It forces you to cross the starting line. It transforms you from someone who's just kind of thinking about investing into an actual active investor.
I want you to keep this mindset front and center as you finish this explainer. Start simple, learn as you go. That is exactly how smart investors grow over time. Look, nobody starts out a Wall Street expert. Nobody gets it perfectly right on day one. You learn the mechanics of the market by actively participating in it. And the absolute best time to start participating is right now. So the path is clearly laid out before you. You've got Robinhood for absolute simplicity, Webull for high-level data, and Fidelity for the long haul. Which one fits your personal goal? And honestly, what is stopping you from investing your very first $100 today? 5 years from now, will your future self thank you for taking action? Think about it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next explainer.